we're back. Week 2 in the books. Now we're going to recap a little bit here, but you guys are actually watching these videos, so I thought I should bump up the production value and add some music. Just think in a couple weeks we'll have explosions and special effects and guest appearances. But anyways, let's talk about the Eliminator. This week, unfortunately, we had more people dropping out of the Eliminator Challenge. First up, we have Kelly and Nikki out of the Eliminator Challenge, having picked Seattle this week against the Rams. Now, the Rams did look terrible last week. They didn't even score a touchdown. In fact, they didn't score a touchdown this week either, which they haven't scored a touchdown since, that's right, 1997. Because they were the St. Louis, now they're the LA Rams. Never mind, just watch the clip.
Pass to Michael. Michael, ball's out. Ogletree on it. Rams have it.
Next up is a little bit of a disappointment because Sarah is a Broncos fan. Nonetheless, she chose the Colts as her Eliminator pick. Shame on you. You should know better than to pick against your beloved Broncos. Actually, Andrew Luck got sacked a ton and, in fact, fumbled it quite a bit.
Gotta go 75 yards. Here comes Miller. The ball comes out. It's scooped up by Ray, and the Broncos put it away.
Finally, we wrap up this week's Eliminator Challenge with Ted and Laura being removed from the challenge for picking the Lions. They went up against the Titans, and it looked like they were going to pull out the victory, but of course there was a last-minute touchdown to Andre Johnson, the veteran wide receiver.
Mariota with time, end zone, and it is caught! Andre Johnson! What a play!
All right, and that wraps it up for this week's Eliminator. Now remember, we started out with 18 people in this Eliminator Challenge just 2 weeks ago, and we're already down to 7. But don't be mad. There's always next year.
Better luck next year.
No, that wasn't very nice.
All right, let's get to the Mission Fantasy League. This week can pretty much be summed up in one word, and that is ouch. A lot of players injured this week. I'm pretty sure everybody felt the pain. Never mind. Anyways, let's start with the first matchup. It was Robert against Nikki. Now, I'm happy that Nikki changed her name. I have no more beef. I won't bring it up anymore. I like Feel the Breeze. She's got Drew Brees. Very, very, very thematic. You know how I feel about that. But it did not help her in the long run. Robert destroyed her this week with the highest points. And Nikki suffered another injury to Adrian Peterson. Pretty bad, too. Next up, we have me facing against my podcast mate, Gerald, and I beat him. That's right. Start the celebration. I'm so happy that I beat you. Yes! Then we had Jordan going up against my mother-in-law, Christina, and Jordan won this week. But I'm a little upset with him. He's been texting me back and forth. He's upset about this idea that somehow Christina's defense scored points for a fumble of a fumble, and I had explained to him how defense and offense works. It all has to come down to possession of the ball.
I refuse to abide, and I won't step aside. Possession is 9/10 of the law, so they say.
Then we had the matchup of Kelly versus Darren. Now, I was a little worried for Kelly because Darren scored the most points last week and looked like a force to be reckoned with. But this week, Cam Newton pulled it out. But again, injury bug went against Kelly, and her running back, Arian Foster, had a particular type of groin injury. This is so stupid. These videos get dumber and dumber as they go along. Then we had the matchup of my dad versus my wife. Now, unfortunately, my wife did not win. She's a little upset about it. But I've been trying to tell her, just calm down. Just look, it can't get any worse. At some point, you got to win a game.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Next up, we had the Brandon Bowl. We had Brandon Peterson against Burrows. And I told you Brandon was going to win. I had faith in you. But now Burrows is 2-0, and I'm sure he's going to make a big deal about it. Probably get another trophy engraved for every time he's undefeated.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
All right, and that wraps up this week's matchups. Some people, of course, there's some people who are 2-0. There's some people who are 0-2. And listen, it's a long season. Don't freak out. It's going to be fine. Seriously, don't freak out. It's going to be okay. Let's start talking about the matchups for this week and get any kind of nasty taste or good taste out of your mouth, because I'm 2-0, by the way. I didn't know if anybody knew that. I'm 2-0. Anyways, let's talk about this week's matchups. Let's start out with Brandon Burrows against my mother-in-law, Christina. Again, this is a 2-0 going up against an 0-2. We don't want Brandon's name on that trophy again, so please, 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 3 times on a trophy. He cannot put his name on any more trophies. Seriously, Christina, beat him. Next up, we have my dad going against Darren. This is kind of an interesting matchup. We have the winner of the league last year going up against the person who got the worst record last year. Beat him, Darren. Do it. We don't want any more David Brays that are 2-0. I'm the only one who could be 2-0 David Bray. Next up, we have Brandon up against Gerald. Gerald, do not go 0-3, man. It's not going to be good for you, buddy. Always giving me crap for never winning a championship. I'm not bitter about it or anything. Seriously, not bitter at all. Next up, we have me going against Jordan. Again, I'm 2-0, but more importantly, what I really want this week to happen to Jordan is I want somehow my offense to score defensive points and be the reason that I narrowly get the victory against Jordan. That would be so sweet. But more importantly, I just want to beat him. Stop whining. Then we have my brother-in-law going up against my wife. Again, another 2-0 versus 0-2. Now, here's the deal. It's kind of a torn thing here because I'm a Packer fan, and Robert pretty much has the entire Packers, but I also love my wife and the death threats that I hopefully won't receive if she goes 0-3. So, Robert, I don't know what to do here. Finally, we have Nikki going up against Kelly. Again, it's going to be hard for Nikki because Kelly has Ezekiel Elliott, the running back for the Cowboys, so it's going to be hard for her to cheer or not cheer for her Cowboys in this instance. Both of them suffered a running back injury with Arian Foster and Adrian Peterson this week, so they're going to have to reach into the bench and see if some of their backups can help them out. Good luck, guys. And that wraps up the recap of week 2. Again, everybody's going to have to probably hit that waiver wire with all the injuries that occurred, so definitely do that. Waivers go through Thursday morning, so get those waivers in as soon as you can. We do have a Thursday night game, Patriots against the... I can't remember. Patriots against the...
Texans.
Texans! Voice. Omnipresent voice who told me. Patriots against the Texans. It's going to be pretty interesting because the Patriots have their third string quarterback, rookie. So it would be an interesting game. Definitely make sure you get your roster set. Until next time, stay undefeated.